speaker for tonight is our guest. He is Rodney. Rodney has been heavily involved in Toastmasters for 10 years and really believes what Ralph Smedley, the founder of the Toastmaster clubs, said back in 1915. Toastmaster is a learning laboratory to test and develop your leadership and communication skills. From his Toastmaster experience, he has published one book on speech evaluation, that is very good, that has been downloaded almost 4,000 times in 136 countries. Right. He is currently writing 2 more books. The first is on service leadership, and the second is on how to write great speeches. Okay, the content for this talk tonight is talking from the speech writing books. Please welcome Rodney.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, I was in your seat 10 years ago. And all you guests who should be in the seat that I was in 10 years ago. I have 3 questions for you. I'm going to move quickly because one of the things that I noticed about all of you tonight is you're trying to remember. And that gets in the way of us communicating. So I have 3 questions for you. First question. Do you think you could memorize 52 randomly shuffled cards in 19.41 seconds? Anybody think they can do that? Okay. We'll challenge you afterwards. That was done this year by a guy named Alexander Mullen in the United States. Now, do you think you could memorize 59 randomly shuffled cards in a week? Okay? In a day? How about 14 hours? No. There's a guy named David Farrell, Canadian, in Toronto in 2007. 59 decks sitting in front of him. He took 14 hours to memorize them. Then did some interviews, came back, and for 9 hours, he recalled every single one of the 3,068 cards. He made one mistake and immediately corrected it himself. Amazing record that's never been broken since. Do you think, so my third question, do you think these people have special gifts? No, they don't. They're just average people who have done what I want to talk to you about, and that is really refine their memory with memory techniques. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about. I discovered the book 4 years ago. I didn't really do much with it, except when I started writing this book on how to write great speeches, I was faced with the fact that I really hate reading my speeches and trying to memorize them, so I thought, maybe I'll look at putting a chapter in, and that was golden. So here's what I found. There are 3 things. The theme 3 goes through this whole speech. By accident. There's 3 things you need to know. The first is location. Second is association. And the third thing is imagination. So, location, association, imagination. Take a look around here. This picture is a location. Picture. Window. Everything that you can point to that looks kind of like a thing is a location. And that's important because what you're then going to do is say, I'm going to associate the first item in my list, which might be bread, with a picture of the Queen. And then the next item will be that picture, and then those windows. And then all you have to, and then the third thing. What is the third thing? Imagination. Or vividly imagining the association between the thing you want to remember and the location. Okay? That's the important part of it. That underlies pretty well every single memory enhancement, memorization, mnemonic technique, whatever you want to call it out there. So, say them with me again. Location. Association. Imagination. Vividly associate. guys, how were they able to remember that much? Because they're just average people. They've actually been studied scientifically. They've been in MRI scans. They don't have any special brains. They don't remember other things all that well. How can they remember huge amounts of information? It's because, and here's my first prop. I'm trying this out. 52 cards. And what I've done here is I've associated every single card with a famous person. Why did I do that? Because it's hard to remember abstract symbols, but it's easy to remember people that you have an emotional, visual connection with. So, Brad Pitt is my king of diamonds. Why is that? And Angelina Jolie is the queen of diamonds. And why is that? Because I can remember them. All I have to do is look at king of diamonds, Brad Pitt, queen of diamonds, Angelina Jolie. So that I can just remember these faces. Now I can go around this room and I can picture all these different people, all these different items, all these different locations, tag the faces with each one of those locations. And then I just, after I've gone through all the cards, I just walk through my journey around the room and remember the people and associate the cards. The people who do this really well have got this down so they don't even think about it. It's absolutely background like that. Okay, so number 2. How can you, and could you add one more minute, because I'm going to run about 1 minute late. How can you remember a list of 20 things that you need to go shopping for without, this is a conservation organization, right? We don't want to waste paper if we don't have to. We'd rather waste electrons in our brain. So, how do you remember all of these things? I'm just going to give you a couple of examples. So, just about said that same word again, but instead I'll just cut it. Okay. How do you remember a list of, say, bread, potatoes, and corn? In my bedroom, the first item is the door. So I will imagine a massive loaf of bread trying to push the door closed to keep me out. I'm not going to forget that bread's associated with that now, because I've really visualized it. And then what's next? Let's say it's a can of beans. On my credenza, I'm not imagining a little can of beans. I'm imagining a credenza covered in beans. And let's say I want corn. I'm not going to imagine, or my mirror, I'm not going to imagine there's a little teeny bit of corn. I'm going to imagine there's this beautiful head of corn looking at itself in the mirror. Right? If you can make those sort of associations, you've tagged the thing with the location in a very memorable way. Number 3, this is the most important one for all of us, because we're speakers. We want to be able to remember our speeches so deeply inside of us that we're not up here in our head trying to think about what we're going to say next. So, for some speeches, it's very easy because it's just off the cuff. You're so familiar with it. Boom, it comes out. Here is a script that I memorized called Pygmalion, written by J.J. Rousseau. And it's about Pygmalion, the sculptor that was written about 2,000 years ago. I didn't write this. I had to memorize it. I had to commit it to memory so much that I could be up on stage and actually act it out. So, what did I do? Thank you. I took this, I read it through a few times. I had somebody else read it to me. And then, I created this. It is this first letter of each word in the script. So now I don't bore myself to death reading the script. I now have trigger letters that tell me what to do. So now I walk around my room, pretending I'm going through this emotional trauma of Pygmalion, and I'm just looking at these trigger letters. And eventually, I can put this away, and it's in there. And what's happening? What's happening is that, thank you for not talking to that. What's happening is that you have forced yourself to recall what you're memorizing, not start and